Good evening, everyone. Columbus police are looking for a gunman after 3 cars are pelted by bullets. The shooting happened on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive and 15th Avenue North on Monday evening. Police Chief Fred Shelton says the suspect drove by and shot at the victim. Investigators believe the victim and the suspect then shot at each other. Shelton says the victim is not cooperating with officers. No one was injured and no arrest has been made.
Weather-wise, we've had some very active weather across our region today, and we just had a tornado rip on through parts of southern Tishomingo County. This is a live view from our Alpha Insurance camera in downtown Tupelo. Looking back to the north, you can see how ominous it looks out there. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Lee County and also for northern Itawamba County. That goes until 6:30. Some wind and some hail potential there east of Saltillo. And we also have a new severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30. That does include areas that just got ravaged by what was likely a tornado here near Tishomingo. That warning goes until 6:30. Again, not warned for a particular tornado at this point, but these are some wind and hail warnings at this point. But I do want to show you where we did have, I'm going to go back and put on our debris signature here, and over the last couple of minutes we had a very strong signature on radar. If you were watching our coverage here not too long ago, right there, that little dot right there, that was a debris signature from Tishomingo now into parts of Alabama. Right there, a confirmed tornado that moved on through. So we still have the potential for some activity later on this evening. The tornado watch continues for the northeastern counties until 10 o'clock tonight. We're going to have more on this and more on your 7-day forecast in just a few more minutes.
PACCAR is shutting down due to customer demand and a weaker outlook for the global economy. The company says the coronavirus pandemic is to blame for the bleak numbers. PACCAR is suspending truck and engine production at its factories worldwide, including the one in Lowndes County. The shutdown starts today and will continue until April 6th. A spokesperson declined to comment on whether PACCAR was financially assisting its employees or how many workers were impacted. Governor Tate Reeves issues an executive order to help prevent the spread of the coronavirus. The order bans gatherings of 10 or more people. This will include church services, weddings, and funerals. Restaurants and businesses must close dining areas. Drive-through and delivery service will still be allowed. The order also bans people from visiting hospitals, nursing homes, or long-term care facilities. He's also asking for businesses to allow anyone who can work from home to do so. Essential workers will be allowed to leave home to go to work. Facts and figures in the coronavirus crisis are changing constantly. There's a lot of information out there, and not all of it is accurate. How can you know if what you're viewing or sharing is true? Our Bobby Martinez is here to show you the proper practices to use before you click and share. Bobby, what can you tell us?
Joey, our job as journalists is to make sure we provide our viewers with accurate information at all times. And during these tough times, it is important for people to know the steps needed before sharing information online. And if you need some tips on how to do so, here's how.
It is a world that's grown to become very powerful over the years, the internet. And with the click of a button, stories and opinions can be shared to millions across the world. And in the midst of it all, truth to stories can be altered with hopes to gain a reaction. And with the world seemingly on pause due to the coronavirus, facts on the pandemic are becoming harder to follow. Jeffrey Rupp, former WCBI news director, says people should take the extra step in making sure information is sharing is accurate.
It's important that we go and try to actively seek out other sources, right? And it's so much easier to get disinformation these days because you just go on the internet, right? But at the same time, it's so much easier to do some fact checking because you just go on the internet. But you have to force yourself away from the websites and sources that reinforce your beliefs and go and actively try to search out the truth.
As for the coronavirus, new information is being released rapidly. Dr. James Dustin Gentry, physician at Winston Medical Center in Louisville, says people should check the following websites for the latest information.
Follow information directly from primary sources such as the CDC, such as the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, or MEMA, and other sources like that. As close to the primary source as you can get will be the most accurate and credible information.
As for trained journalists, WCBI's assistant news director, Joey Barnes, says the job comes with a lot of responsibility and no room for error.
We may not be first, but we're going to be accurate, and that is one of the most important things that a journalist can do, and that speaks to your integrity and your credible. You want to be credible with your viewers, because as soon as you put out inaccurate information, A, they're going to call you on it, and B, you have to build up that rapport with your audience, and they have to know and they have to trust you to bring them the most accurate and credible information in a timely manner, and that's what we work to do every single day.
And if you are looking for sites with the most accurate information on the coronavirus, I have those links for you on our website at WCBI.com.
State health workers report 71 new cases of coronavirus in Mississippi, bumping the total to 320. 58 of the state's 82 counties are reporting cases. There are 4 new people that have tested positive in Lee County. Chickasaw and Lafayette counties are each reporting 3 new cases. Monroe, Montgomery, Pontotoc, and Webster are showing 1 new case each since Monday. And the health officials say more than 1,800 people have been tested. The death toll remains at 1. The State Department of Health expects the number of confirmed cases to rise as more people are being tested. In other news, with schools shut down, many students are tackling a new skill, distance learning. But in some places, the biggest assignment can be finding an internet connection. WCBI's Stephanie Poole goes to Noxubee County to find out how educators there are connecting to students. She joins us live in the studio with more. Stephanie?
That's right, Joey. For rural areas, it can be difficult to learn remotely and effectively. So Noxubee County schools are working to set up Wi-Fi around the community for students who aren't able to work from home.
The internet is a very important source that we need to get through some of the work that we have at school.
Reagan Williams is a junior in high school. As she begins tackling most of her homework online, she's concerned about her classmates who may have trouble accessing internet away from school.
Not knowing if they're going to be able to finish their work or even get a chance to put their best foot forward within their work, because living in rural areas, you don't always have the best service and things like that, so it's harder for them to execute the best way they need to.
Karen Dixon is the assistant principal of Noxubee County High School. She says teachers are working to provide options for students.
They can pick up packets that each teacher or in each grade or department has provided for those students who may not have access to the internet or to the online services.
And when it's time to complete those assignments online, students can come to school for service or the Noxubee County Transit.
I knew that we had a plan in place, and we're continuing to work through our plans to make sure that we are providing students what they will need to get online, to complete the packets.
Many, including Public Service Commissioner Brennan Presley, will tell you the increased demand for students and workers trying to telecommute is highlighting an issue that has plagued many areas of the state well before the coronavirus came along.
We've been struggling, and many rural people have been struggling in the last couple of weeks, in particular as schools, as you mentioned, began to close. So many workers are telecommuting. We're seeing in very stark terms, what this digital divide means to the people of Mississippi. Once we get through this crisis, we're going to get through this crisis, and when we do, that we pull together and have an effort like we've never seen before to make sure we connect every home, every business, every industry in Mississippi to internet service, world-class internet service, so that we never get back in this mess again.
Noxubee County High School and their transit system will continue to provide these services for students 24/7 free of charge.
Local ministries joined forces to help feed people throughout northeast Mississippi in these uncertain times. We'll have that story coming up on WCBI News.
Welcome back, everyone. A North Mississippi ministry that knows a thing or two about feeding people after disasters is putting those skills to work to help those affected by the coronavirus. WCBI's Allie Martin catches up with them as they get ready to help their neighbors.
Cheryl Reynolds is a longtime volunteer with 8 Days of Hope, helping people all across the country who have been hit hard by natural disasters. The Pontotoc County resident is now helping fellow Northeast Mississippians who have been affected by the coronavirus.
We're fixing baked beans, chicken strips, some corn on the cob, dinner roll, cookie. Just a nice meal for people that can't maybe fix dinner tonight if they're healthcare workers or, you know, just for whatever reason.
For the next 2 weeks, a mobile kitchen is set up at the ministry's national headquarters in Pontotoc County.
For us, our goal is simple. We want to bring hope to those who are feeling hopeless and maybe a little joy to those right now who don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And so we're excited to do our part right here in the city of Tupelo.
Thousands of meals can be made every day and delivered to those who need lunch or dinner. 8 Days of Hope is partnering with another local ministry, the American Family Association.
Sunday afternoon, I was sitting around. Of course, a lot of people are spending a lot of time at home. And I was thinking, you know, what can the church do? What can we do? What can ministries do to help people in need? So I called up Steve on Sunday afternoon, and I said, how about we feed families in Tupelo who are in need?
AFA is helping underwrite the effort and providing the volunteers who will actually deliver the meals and leave them on people's doorsteps, all to help follow the CDC guidelines in what has become everybody's new temporary normal.
97.6.
In fact, each volunteer has his or her temperature taken before they can even get to work. It reduces the need for person-to-person contact while allowing volunteers to serve others.
This is just a practical way for the church to shine. I mean, that's the sentence I've been using the last week as I talk to churches around the country, following disasters, and now following new guidelines that are being put out. It seems like every hour something new is being shared. This is a great time for the church to lead. We want to play our part.
In Pontotoc County, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
If you need a meal, go to feedtupelo.com and make the request. Those without internet access, you can call the number there on your screen, 255-7565. All right, a busy afternoon in the Weather Center.
Busy here, and we had one confirmed tornado, it looks like, in Tishomingo County. We have video of that coming up after the break, and we're still watching the storm cell here in Itawamba County, north of Fulton. Right there, it is moving towards Golden and Red Bay, Alabama, in just a couple of minutes. Hail and wind potential with that, still rotating a little bit as well. We'll show you the full 7-day forecast after the break.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Busy weather here across northeast Mississippi today, and really across all of the deep south. We have some active weather moving on through. I want to show you some video we got in from the Tishomingo County tornado. Let's bring this up full screen, and you can see this is from Dr. Barrett Gutter, moving closer and closer to the tornado here. Eventually, you will see that tornado come into view as we let this video roll. So this looks to be a pretty substantial tornado. There it is. You can see the funnel right there in front of you, in front of the driver here. Again, that was in Tishomingo County not too long ago. Within the last hour, we had a very strong storm. This is the wind shear swath. The storm developed near Boonville, moved east, right near Tishomingo, where we see the brighter colors here. That is that swath, a fast-moving wind that likely gave rise to that particular tornado, and some damage being reported up there as well. Now we have to deal with what's happening right now. Northeast of Fulton, we have this storm that is moving towards Red Bay, Alabama by 6:33. Some large hail, maybe quarter-size hail, and some damaging wind gusts here as it's moving right along Highway 25. There's Red Bay, there is the Mississippi state line. So from Belmont to Fulton, right up in here, some very heavy rain and some storminess moving on through. We had a warning that went until 6:30 for southern Tishomingo County again, but that storm has now moved across the state line into Alabama. So we just have the one here in northeastern parts of Itawamba County that we will continue to monitor. That is our debris detector. This was that storm that produced a tornado near Tishomingo. That big dot right there of blue, that was that debris that was lifted in the air as that tornado caused some damage across Tishomingo County. Here's the big picture. The strongest storm cells now from northeast of Fulton into northern Alabama. Not very intense is the activity back to the southwest, but we still have some showers and storms trying to butt on up here. Futurecast is doing a pretty good job here. Let's show you that in just a split second, but we still have that tornado watch from Calhoun, Chickasaw, Monroe, Lamar counties north and east until 10. Futurecast, I mentioned, doing a pretty good job picking up on the activity here. So a lot of this goes away by mid-evening. We still may have a few additional showers or thunder showers late this evening with the actual cold front that will move on through. We'll wake up to a lot of cloud cover on Wednesday with much cooler temperatures in the 50s. So the storm threat will continue for the next couple of hours here through 9 or 10 o'clock. Lows tonight down into the 50s. Tomorrow, a cloudy start. We'll break out into the sunshine. We should get highs back into the lower 70s across the region. It will be a pretty nice day. Today was stormy. That system's on the way out. High pressure will win out as we get into your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, really warm around here. We're thinking mid-80s, maybe some record highs, and we may see some more strong to severe storms as we get into your Saturday afternoon and evening here again. So it could be pretty active here again on Saturday afternoon. Right now, we'll just monitor what's happening over the next couple of hours. Joey?
All right, thanks, Keith. Area athletes do their best to stay in tip-top shape while gyms and fields remain closed. Find out more next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Staying in shape while staying at home as people are asked to stay home from work, school, and public businesses due to the coronavirus threat. Area athletes and coaches are trying to find normalcy during this new reality. WCBI Sports' Courtney Robb has more.
The CDC continues to spread the word of staying home in hopes of slowing down the spread of the novel coronavirus. Many communities are taking that advice, closing schools and non-essential businesses such as gyms. However, that leaves many, whether it's parents or student athletes, without access to their accustomed traditional exercise.
It's strange. It puts them in a place where they're not used to it. A lot of people, doesn't matter how nice the gym is, they just know that it's their place. It has the machines they're comfortable with.
When Berkery isn't coaching at Starkville Academy, he runs the Starkville Swing Batting Cages. As a former Mississippi State Diamond Dog and minor league player, he knows how vital consistent practice is for young athletes. That's why Berkery has left the Starkville Swing Cages open.
It almost resembles what it's like when you're in pro ball because, during the off season, your coach sends you home and your organization sends you a packet they want you to be working on, and it's up to you to do it. So, I'm sure there'll be kids that slip away and get a little lazy on us, but there'll be, a lot of our guys really get after it.
Houston head football coach Ty Harden can relate to that. With the cancellation of spring football, Harden has been using social media to post workouts and keep his players active.
I know they're probably bored at home and they're going to find some way to work out, something to do. I've had several kids text me like, hey, Coach, I knocked my workout out today. What else can I do?
Harden isn't only focused on keeping his players up and moving, but also his 4-year-old daughter, Evie. One way Harden has been doing that is by implementing the Corona Combine, where Evie has been showing off her 40-yard dash.
When it's in football season, there's not much time you get to spend with your family, and I'm trying to use this time to, create some memories where you might lose, in the future.
You can have your daughter ready for the NFL draft by the time all of this is over?
She might be. She's got that swag.
Social media has quickly become a trend and a tool for remaining active. Challenges such as the C10, Do 10, Send 10 are popping up all over social media.
Just to see other people going through the same thing that they're going through and they're trying to push people to keep working out, I think that's very beneficial.
As a personal trainer, Parker has taken to social media to promote exercise in the home and show his clients simple movements that require no equipment.
Watch, do jumping jacks, jump rope if you have it, push-ups. There's plenty of things you can do without equipment.
However, Berkery says the most straightforward exercise that families can do right now is merely getting outside together.
That's what my kids love about it. When we get out in the yard and they see me running around or jumping or rolling in the mud or something like that, I think it just makes it more exciting.
Reporting in Columbus, Courtney Robb, WCBI Sports.
High school spring sports in Mississippi remain suspended until at least through April 17th. Former St. Louis Battlehawks and Ole Miss quarterback Jordan Ta'amu will get another chance in the NFL. The defending champion Kansas City Chiefs signing Ta'amu Monday. Ta'amu was the third-rated quarterback in the XFL, completing 72% of his throws for just over 1,000 yards and a league-leading 12 touchdowns. Ta'amu competed with the Houston Texans in training camp last year before being released before the start of the regular season. That's it for sports. We'll have last look at your forecast next.
Looking east from downtown Tupelo at the back edge of the storms moving across far eastern Mississippi, right along the state line north of Tremont here, that storm near Red Bay. Still rotating a little bit, now moving into Alabama, but there's still a little bit of rotation on the southern part of that. That is just moving away from our area, though, but we'll continue to watch it here. The storm cells from Fulton back to the northern part of Alabama, the strongest. Down farther to the southwest, we still have some potential for some storms here, Joey, this evening. But in general, I think the worst of the weather is probably across the far northeast into Alabama, but we'll be here all night long.
All right. Thank you, Keith, for keeping a close watch on everything today. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.